Alright, well today I'm going to if you guys really want, there's some stuff that's already on the Unity Hub. So if you open the Unity Hub and click on the Learn page, you click on the Projects page, and you scroll all the way down, here you got this Creator Kit RPG, right? You can download it. It's Welcome to RPG Creator Kit, and if you look at the tutorials and follow along with the tutorials, it tells you how to get started with it. It shows you how to create your own world, how to add things to the world, populate your world, how to create a quest, develop the player experience with the quest, and the quest accepted. It's a very good introductory. Um, no coding whatsoever, if I remember right, when I went through it. It's very good. Um, if you want to learn more about coding, you can do the Creator Kit Beginner Code, and it's going to create something a little looks like an RPG, sort of similar to the Zelda series. Um, Again, here's the tutorials. It'll take you through all kinds of things. Teaches you about inheritance, spawner classes. Teaches you everything about coding itself. It's very good. But we are going to make one based off from the Zelda series. It's going to be kind of like the Zelda games. Um, so looking at content and getting content for this, I've done a lot of research. Daniel Thomas here, he has an awesome screenshot of, whoops, I don't want to print, a lot of good content, hand-painted textures. Here, let me pause my thing real quick. So anyways, welcome back. So we're talking about content and stuff. So Daniel Thomas, he's got a lot of really good assets. I've purchased several of these. I'm probably gonna purchase the rest of them that I don't have, like his mindset, his extras, and his females. I do have the grass tile set, the town, the interior, the dungeon, and the 2-die, and the characters. So let me show you some of these. These are really good. So here's his grassland tile set. If you look at, he's got an example scene here. I mean, very well. They tile really well together. It's actually animated tiles. Let me see what happens if I press play, because I have several scenes open. We will see how long this takes. Shift F10. So finally entered play mode for me, but his example scene here does not have his water moving, but he does have, if you look in his time lapse, he has it where the water actually flows. So, and it's actually a pretty cool effect when seeing the water move. That is his grassland tile set. Like again, I said, it's very good. If you look, here's a example scene of his dungeon tile set. He's got fire, flames, pillars with flames. All this stuff's animatable. Blocks set up. I mean, set up just the way I want it, and exactly the way um, you would expect it in a Zelda scene. Here we go. Here is his village interiors. Again, I don't think the sorting order is done right on this, but he's got all the different positions. Here's his village tile set. Again, I don't think the sorting order is set up right on everything. So so when you do sorting orders and you lay things in, you gotta make sure that you have things on the correct sorting layer. Yeah, see. So he's got a default sorting layer here of 599. So things don't show up correctly the way I have my Unity set up. So let's see here. Let's go back to default. See if that. There we go. So here's his interior set. If you see, it's a awesome little house inside, set up very, 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 very well. Banisters, doors, stairs. He's even got stairs inside the doorway here. If you notice, stairs going up, stairs going down. So I mean, you can connect these any way that you wish. See this coming in from outside. You go up the stairs, you're in the bedroom. You go downstairs, you're in this room. Here you come in here, you go up the stairs. You're in this area. Done really, really, really well. Here's his village, his town tile set. I'm sorry, his town tile set. Again, done very, very, very well. I love the color scheme that he's got going on. And last but not least, here's his here we'll close all these out. Unload scene, remove scene. We'll just remove all the scenes from my open scene right now, except for the one that we have open. Remove scene. Alright, so this last scene is his characters. Now, this is all done with the same character. It's one character. If you notice, they all have an animation for idle. The problem with his characters is if you come up here and you look into his animations, he has a, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can just read what he has already done up. He has a down for the bow, death, hurt, idle, spell, swing, and thrust. You can easily create your own animations for this guy. Click on the pleasant character, mail down. If you notice, mail bow down, click play. Here's his shooting the bow. Click play. So you see his death animation playing. What happens when he gets hurt? We'll scroll in on this guy so you can see him a little better. When he gets hurt. Of course, we've already saw his idle animation being played. Oh, not record play. He's just moving up and down. Him doing his spell casting. Him swinging a sword. Him thrusting. It's more for a spear. Him walking. And you also have a walking legs only. As you notice, his arms doesn't move. So what he does not have is a animation for carrying, animation for pushing or pulling, and these are animations that are required. His current setup. If you notice his current setup, he's got position, rotation, scale. Each little thing is so if you notice each body part's got its own little section breakout here. It would have been better if he used Unity's new assets. If and we'll come over here and look at his let's see if we can find his sprites. So sprite sheets. Oh, did he do them as? Oh, he did do them as a sprite sheets. Wow, that's updated. No, let's see here. Sprites. Okay, so here's his atlas. If you notice, it's all spread out. It would be much better if he did his atlas to be the body all together and layered things up using a PSD. Could have been improved on and made a lot simpler to use Unity's built-in animator to animate sprites. Um, so that is my only issue with that. So because the difficulty of actually creating the animations with what he has currently set up, I have decided not to use his assets. I might change my mind later and come back and do something different and maybe redo his sprite sheet and show you guys how to redo his sprite sheet so you can use the Unity sprite editor built-in assets. Um, so we will come back here to the other assets that we have. So perpetual division. So I would like to move on to look at other character sprites that could possibly meet my requirements. And perpetual division here, they've got pixel monsters, pixel dungeons, retro pixel landscapes, 2D characters, pixel bosses, pixel characters. They've got this 3D pixel tile set, which is it's based off from their landscape tile set. They have an older version of the landscape tile set that they use to create this 3D pixel tile set. I really like it. I really like their assets. Very good job. If you notice, this is the retro characters, 2D characters, right? And it's got a female-based character and a male-based, different colors, different skin tones, different eye colors, 6 different outfits, 10 different hairstyles that you can use, 6 sample weapons, with the 23 total animations. So he's got stand, walk carrying, run, jump, fall, nod, shake head, blink, line, wave, sit, blink, ready stance, damage, hurt, crouch, swing, attack, spell chant, shock, sad, happy. Okay, so here we go. So here's the retro 2D characters and how their sprite sheets are laid out. They have a specific way of doing their sprites. So perpetual division, 2D characters. So if you read their README package here, we'll open the scene. But if you open the README package here that comes with this, this is a 1.8 component offset change using your project needs the following settings to work. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, coming in animations. Where is the README? Probably down here. So we'll come to their pixel characters because I know the README. The README for the 2D characters used to say the same thing here. So you've got the sprite skin script information that tells you about the different sprite skins, and they require you to use the resource folder. This is what makes the sprite skin script work. It has a script on the thing to change out your characters, so you can use the sprite script here to decide how you want what outfit you want your character to wear. So like you come into their Pixel 2D characters, his I guess the source PSDs. No, maybe. Oh, I don't remember how to change out his oh, the resources. Retro character 2Ds, right? Sprite Sheets. Mail. So now here you go. So let's look at our mail right here. To change this out, you select his outfit that you want. And let's make him a warrior. Now, if I remember right, let's see if I remember how to do this. I think that's all you have to do. Package the complete script for instead of okay. So I don't remember how to change out his sprite skips. To use the new window. Let's see here. He used to have a button that when you changed it out, you click the button and it updated the sprites with all the animations. I do not see that. It's been a while since I used his asset. So well, let's see if his retro pixel characters has that, and I can show you. Don't save. Mail-based light. I don't remember how to make his. Let's see. Packages include things as skin, also prefabs. Have a complete animation set and organized animation controller tree. The animator controller is set to work in script, which can make character work and walk and run. Prefabs are made to demonstrate. Alright. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to figure him out again later. But anyways, his characters, as you see, it's kind of complicated to pick and choose which characters that you want to use. I mean, they have a couple different bases and different outfits that you can just drag and drop and create, and everything's supposed to work together. I don't like the way they had them set up. And plus, if you notice by their animation list, he did not have everything that I required. Come back to so stand check, walk check, carry walk check, run. Okay, that's walking check. Fall animation check. Slain animation check. Take damage check. Swing check. Shoot check. But if you notice, there's no push and pull animations. So it was back to the drawing board. Now, I do recommend these if you're playing around, and I'll show you guys later how to use all these different assets with what we're going to create. It is just, I had decided that to start off with, it would be easier to use something else. So it was back to the drawing board, back to looking. Now, with that being said, that is all the stuff that I could find on the Unity Asset Store. Correct? So, we'll come back to, so difference between the Retro Character 2D and the Retro Pixel Character, by the way, is the animations they have. They have less animations than the Retro 2D character to make room for more detailed for the attack and auto animations. Just so you know that that's pretty much the only difference between the two. You're more than welcome to choose which of the two that you want. I have them both. So, now, here's the pixel art assets from BitGem. Again, there's no characters, so I am not going with his assets. I just thought that his asset sets was a very good asset set, for dungeon wise. If you look, he's got different prefabs all set up. Very easy to build your dungeon and put these together to make yourself a dungeon. He has. No, that's not. Casual. Divider. Stairs, torch walls. So, I mean, he's got torches that are animated. I mean, very good scene. Again, let's see if I can find his other scene here. He had an example. Here we go. Sample layout. While that loads, we will come back here to the scene. This is his chipset 2. This is what the chipset looks like. All the prefabs all laid out. Again, different corners for the walls. Straight walls, corner walls, doors, pillars to go against the walls. So, I mean, he's got a very good different doorways that you can use. Here's an example scene with the dungeon all laid out. I really like it. I think it will work great in our game. But he had no characters. Again, the two that I showed you was his Pixel Dungeons level 2 and Pixel Dungeons level 1. I haven't purchased level 3 or these other ones. These are all done in the same exact way. Look really good for pixel art. So we went back to the drawing board because I have specific things that I needed for my Sprites animations. So let's go look for some free assets that we can use on opengameart.org. If you notice, they have all kinds of different assets. I mean, assets overload. All free. Some of them are very good and detailed. Some of them are whatever. Like this fancy UI elements. The thing you have to pay attention here is the licensing fee. This one here is a collection of Zelda style tile sets. You know, again, it's just different. And I think this one was a Zelda Like RPG. So you search by different tags, and they already have all the stuff coming up. So one that a lot of people use in a lot of their tutorials is this Zelda Like tile sets and sprites. And you notice he's got a character and a test. And a test NPC to use. Again, I like the art style. I like the setup. But if you look at what he has, open game art, Zelda Like Tilesets and Sprites. If you look at his character, he's got all the stuff that you could ever want. It's got a simple swinging animation for a sword. He's got a pick up. He's got a carry. He's got a carry walk. He's got a regular walk, an idle. This tile set works really well for me, I think. What was the issue? I had an issue. Oh, yeah, I found something a little better down the road. But for starters, this is a very good tile set. I would recommend for you to use this if you are starting out and have absolutely no money to purchase your graphics. I don't like his overworld tile set too much. There's no animated water, it looks. I There's something about the wall K walls. I just don't like the way it looks. I'm not gonna be going with this one. I will show you guys how to incorporate his character later on because, like I said, I've done a lot of research, but I do think that for a starter set, this is extremely good and useful. Now enter the Liberated Pixel Cup. So this one will come. So on the Liberated Pixel Cup, they got this universal Lpc Sprite Sheet, and they've got a spell cast animation, a thrust, a walk, a slash, a shoot, and a hurt. Now what's great about this is you can use this to build whatever type of character you want to build. Right. So I mean you can go through and select different body types. You can do different eyes, noses, ears, legs. So the legs you got pants or no pants pretty much. Um, so we'll go with teal, and you notice it updates the spreadsheet. And then when you get done with your character, you can save the result as a PNG. Problem with this is you can only select one weapon. So I think this is the thrust. So yeah, you can only select one weapon for using this setup. But the assets, you can actually download all of this. I think it's the Lpc Character Generator, and it has every single one of these assets all put together. And you get a little sprite sheet, and you can put it together in Unity. Again, a lot of work. So here's the original. You get, it's a base character, and then you got the pants down here. So you have to manually put all this together. Again, very good basic for an RPG style game. I mean, they've got thrusting, slashing, a shooting, a hurt. So I mean, no walking, and well, they do have an idle too, but they don't have all the assets that I was looking for. So back to the drawing board. You have this 80 plus. Okay, so here we go. Back at the asset store, you have this guy, Jason Perry, right? He's got 80 plus RPG characters and a fantasy RPG tile set. I did not purchase these through here. I brought these through IO. These are only two assets that he has on the asset store. Now, These are wonderful assets. I love them to death. Time Fantasy, his characters. So, here is the issue that I have with his. Oops, wrong one. Character, we'll just pick a one. You have Idle and Walk. His is set up for RPG Maker, which means you have to have a battler sheet, I think. Yeah, so if you look at his battler sheet here, so all the character animations for these things are all in one direction. You don't have all four directions. Not exactly what I was looking for because I am going for more of an action adventure style game. Um, but again, wonderful assets. If you look here, he has a lot of free asset packs on itch.io. He's got an Atlantis, Christmas graphics, City in the Clouds, Halloween graphics, a Dark Dimensions, Jungle tile set. So his tile sets are actually wonderful. I love his tile sets. I love his tile sets. He did an awesome job. Again, if you come to his actual page here, Time Fantasy, here's his itch.io stuff. Game Dev Market, RPG Maker. So his stuff was really designed for RPG Maker. So his characters were designed that way. Um, he's got all kinds of extra free stuff here that is not included in here. Like so his Christmas tiles, uh, uh, Christmas character sprites and stuff. That is all included in this one sprite Christmas graphics. Okay. I think like the execution sprite is extra. The Grim Reaper sprite is actually Halloween icons, Halloween tiles. That is all in his Halloween graphics. So that there's some stuff that's not there, like the night sprites, the lava falls, the waterfalls, his fairies, pink trees. So you might have to combine the two to get a complete tile set. Um, and here is on itch.io again. Final Blues is all of his assets. You got a tile set pack. This is where I purchased all my tile sets. I didn't purchase mine. You got the Fantasy RPG tile set and the 80 characters. If you look on itch.io, here's his Fantasy tile pack, 80 characters. I think they're $9 a piece on itch.io. And here they are quite a bit more through the Unity Asset Store. The difference is the Unity Asset Store tiles that he has is set up specifically for Unity itself. So he did all the legwork and everything's done and set up in Unity. You don't have to set anything up in Unity to use his stuff in Unity. Whereas if you purchase them from here, you get just the content packs. And you have to set everything up in Unity yourself, combine things. So like he's got a monster pack, Farmer Fort Japan, uh, different animations for NPCs, and here you go, side view battler animations. Because, like I said, his animation, his stuff was set up for RPG Maker, which is not what I was going for. I was going for a action game. RPG Maker setup is set up for RPG Maker, so it's set up more for a Final Fantasy style game. So like you get one direction. In this case, it's the character facing to the left. It's got a swing animation, a shooting animation, and him being dead, him being hurt. Um, Again, it's set up for RPG Maker, which is a more like a Final Fantasy style game, and that is not the style of game I was going with. So we will come to the next set in itch.io that I found was this Mythil Age. He has a huge, it's by JD Collar. He had an idea for a game called Mythil Age. he has a lot of assets. A mixture of stuff that's free. So if you're looking for a good set of free assets, I would or paid assets, I would use this HIO. No, I would use the the Tom Fantasy assets and this Mythil Age Fantasy asset collection, and you combine the two, and you will have a huge assortment of pixel assets that is good for an RPG style game that you want. Um, Here's all his free stuff: Mythil Age icons, Mythil Age sound effects pack, patron sprites, and tile sets. So here's his different tile sets. I mean, he's got an animated ground tile set with water, uh, regular ground tile set. Again, all of these tile sets were set up for use in RPG Maker. So I believe his did he have free characters? Yes, patron sprites one. So here's his free character, one of his free characters. It's just a idle animation and a walking animation in 4 directions. You can get quite a bit on a map with just idle and walking, and you can bypass the and do some tricky stuff with the slashing animations and any other animations that you need. I will show you guys how to incorporate these because I think these are really good. But that will be at the end of my tutorial series. Again, and if you look at Mythil Age here for the paid assets, he's got your base characters. So what's nice about his paid assets is you buy them, you get the where is it at? Mythil Age base character set, right? So you purchase these, you get the base assets, and you can kind of come in and add outfits and everything that you want to make your own characters. So you can go in and make something like this. You can change it to something like this. So these are all done by his base assets and adding clothing. Very good setup. I like it. I am just not going to use them to start off with. Again, I will show you guys how to work with these later down the road. Now we come to PETA. He's got an awesome set: Village tile set assets, Overworld tile set, Monster pack, and Dungeon tile set. So I have purchased the Village tile set, the Dungeon tile set, and the Monster pack. Um, Here is what you get with the hero. So you have an idle, a movement, attack, and a hit. So as much as and he even shows you how to set his animations up to work well with examples. So you got his idle animation. If you want to do a ping pong style, 1, 2, 3, 2, and then you start again at 1, 2, 3, 2. Here's the amount of delay that he recommends between each frame. Again, he does the same thing with his movement. He's got his attack. So frame 1 is build up. Frame 2, 3, 4 are the attack animations. So he shows you the different style attack animations. Here's one, here's different, and here's a different. Here's the difference between them. So A, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, and then B, and then C. And you notice he added a tile offset to get the movement. If you are doing one that's controlled by the player, that you press the button and he attacks, you're probably going to want to go with A. B and C are more for, especially B. B is more for something that is controlled by computer AI. It gives the player a chance to see that the other character is going to attack and can defend or counterattack You know, it gives him that little anticipation frame before he swings. Um, and then again, the same thing with his hit animations. So frame 4 is an all-purpose idle frame, just so you know. So if you do an idle animation, frame 4 of his hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, is just an all-purpose idle frame for him to stand around and do nothing. Again, I have a requirement for his slime. So I think if you purchase these, you get a I don't like his dungeon tile set. Let me find his stuff. Purchase WonderDot. So his dungeon tile set. So here's an example of his dungeon tile set. Here's another example. So if you notice his doorway is coming to the side here, it's kind of hard to tell that it's a door. So like you have a door frame that you can put over the top of your door, and you have a closed door here, or you can have it as an open door. For his side directions, it's just that. It's kind of hard to tell. It's not the exact style that I was looking for. Um, other than that, his assets are really good. Again, his attack animations were not, or not his attack animations. He didn't have the full set of animations that I was looking for. But I would recommend the monster pack, just because the monster pack, you get a bat, a goblin, a sniper, an orc, a rat, a slime. So you get quite a bit of different monsters that will work great for what we need them for. Again, so I also recommend his village tile set, even though his doorways are set up kind of different, because his village tile set, you get this really cool. Here, I'll show you his example layout. So he's got it set up so that you have your little village town here, your little house set up inside. You do all the insides, and then you put a roof on top, and bam, there's your roof on the same set of house, and you can just make them disappear in game. Like so, the character, say your character comes in and enters this doorway, right? You make it so that it just fades out that doorway over the top, and now you can see inside the house in your character. You don't have to have a separate scene for each side inside of each house. So that is one of the things I really like about his tile set that he has. Um, Again, that's up to you which sets of tiles that you want to use and what kind of game style you're going for. So now, so I kept digging because I couldn't find a character that had the exact animations I was looking for. Came across this Rogue Dungeon tile set, 16 by 16. He's got a versatile wells. He's got a player character's prime. Very good tile set again. But here we go. So if you look at his character guide, he's got an idle, a run, a push, a pull, a push, a pull, a death. The only animation he does not really have is one for shooting a bow, two for carrying and items. I want my character to have a bow and to be able to carry items. So that is the only issue that I have with his tile set. Well, that, and then if you look at his, so here's his tile set and his doors. His doors, so for side doors, you don't know if you got a boss door or a key door or a regular door for going sideways. That is the only issue that I have with his dungeon tile set that he has. Um, Other than that, it's a nice tile set, but again, it's a dungeon only tile set, and the character didn't have all the animations that I was looking for. So I kept digging. I came across this. Hey, itch.io has a tile set called Not Zelda. Now, if you look, this is a very nice tile set. It's set up in the Zelda 1 style. So let me come here. You don't need that folder, but you get, here's a cemetery. Here's their dungeon kind of setup. Again, their doors to the sides aren't what I was looking for, but worked out really well. Problem is again when we come to the characters. So their characters, if you notice, they show you how to combine everything. So here's the standing, walking, attacking, stunned, shocked, and damaged for all 4 directions. That is what they have. And if you look, you got 9, 10, 11, 12. So you take frame 9, you add the weapon that you want to choose, and you get a character with a weapon. Again, with the same with 10, follow through and recovery. And if you look, this is what they have as their demo. So I mean, it's a good setup. I like the setup, but they don't have push pull animations. And to be honest with you, I was looking for a little more artsy. Their Zelda style 1. I was looking for more something like a Link to the Past or the Minish Caps kind of style for art. And their art style is more along the lines of Zelda 1. But very excellent tile set. And very, very excellent. I just thought I'd show that off for you guys. Now we are down to the tile set that I decided I'm going to use. This Tile Adventure Pack. So, here I finally found what I was looking for. So, this guy, Mytheril, I think his name is. Vyreell. So, this is his free pack. You get a main character with an idle animation, a walk, and an attack. You got a skeleton that has an idle and a walk. And you got this environment. And this environment and the free pack has a floor tile, a tree with a tree trunk, a bush, and rocks. And you get a sign, a treasure chest. So you get a coin, a heart, and then these orbs. This is the tile set that I will be using for my demonstrations. Because again, I really like what he has offered. I took his free tile set here. And we'll look at his. So he's got 2 different characters. Here's character 1. That's just a standing sprite. And then he's got character 2, and he's got the skeleton. What's really, really, really nice about his tile set is, look under his other, and you got this miscellaneous, and you got his tree. So you get a tree that's a full tree. You get a tree top, and you get a tree trunk. So I will show you how to take his tree trunk and add his tree top to it in your scenes, and we're going to make that into a prefab, and we're going to make it so that when the character walks behind this tree, the tree disappears and all you see is the trunk, and you see through the tree top and see the character. A nice little effect, just because that's what I was going for. So to follow along completely with all of my demonstrations and my tutorial, be you will have to purchase his Tiny Adventure Pack Plus, Tiny Dungeon Pack, and Tiny Village Pack. So, well, you don't have to purchase Tiny Village Pack, but you will need his Tiny Adventure Pack and his Tiny Dungeon Pack. So, to start off with, you can get the free version and follow along. And his packs, if you notice, I only paid like $3 a piece. So it is a very, very cheap set. The animations aren't set up very, very well, but he has all the requirements. So if you look at his Tiny Adventure Pack Plus, which is the one that you have to purchase, you get a shield, a bow, and you get animations for the character using the shield and the bow. You get the original Tiny Adventure Pack stuff. You get a So when he opens the truck and gets something out of it, you get this little animation that says, "Hey, I got this item," and he holds it above his head. Um, he has a pickup frame, right? So you reach down and pick something up. That was this one right here. Hey, I got the item. Um, you get an additional tile set, dirt path included, this water path included, and you get this bridge that you can use to span a gap. So, all right, we're looking. That's perfect for me. That's perfect. Oh, and you get two NPCs. You get a male and a female NPC, and you get this little exclamation point. You get a heart and a key, as well as the shield and the bow. You get a goblin, and this goblin. Let's see, does he have? No. So you get the goblin that has an animation with the bow firing. He doesn't show these animations off for some reason, but you get those, and we will utilize those. Um, Now, his Tiny Adventure Dungeon Pack. Again, his dungeon itself, I do not like. I'm only recommending that you purchase his dungeon pack for the animations that you get for the character. So you get a bomb and a boomerang. You get a pick up and throw animation and a carry item. So now your character can walk around and carry this item above his head, and then he can throw it. Again, and then you get a slime, a zombie, a bat, and a rat. And then you get this room tile set that's got a pit, water pit, acid, water, and these walls with kind of bottomable cracks. Right. So we come back to our tunnel here. His tunnel adventure tile sets. Room. So this is his room. Again, his doorways are not, you don't know if there's a door there or not for going left and right. Um, so I would not be utilizing his doorways in my final adventure. I will probably be using one of these other tile sets that we purchased along the way. And then you have the village pack. Again, it's just a nice little pack, and you get an added NPCs. You do not have to purchase this to follow along with the content that I'm going to be doing in tutorials. The only ones you're going to need is the Tile Adventure Pack Plus, the Tile Dungeon Pack, and we will have everything that we need. One other note is you're going to need Tiled. So Tiled has nice setup for your tile sets, and very easily paint grass on um, with a dirt path. You can do this in Unity. It just makes it a lot harder in Unity to do. So we're just going to be using Tileset, this tile, to make our tile sets and make our maps eventually. And with that being said, we're going to be using super tiled to Unity as a script importer to import our tile sets that we make here into Unity. Um, so that is about all the stuff I have on content. Join me again for another tutorial, and we will get started with utilizing some of these assets.